Hey guys, welcome back. Banter Bets and BPL here with Brother Keegs, Sandy. Coach Cam couldn't make it tonight, blowing us off for partying and booze and purely unhealthy lifestyle. So shame on him. So it's just Brother Keegs and Sandy. All of us had a pretty tough week last week, to be honest with you guys. Although we did have Dad, Bill was on, and he had an actual plus 10 week, which was a very surprising source of cash. Did not expect him to do as well as he did, but shout out Dad for doing well. Brother Keek, Sandy, just shows how hard it is to bet these Premier League games. We were really good for a couple weeks, and I think all of us were somewhat sizable negatives. Brother Keeg's -15, I was -35. Didn't win a bet. Sandy -25. What do you make of it, Keegs?
I was -15 and I lost three $5 bets on the Spurs game. So if I handicapped that game a little bit differently, it's a different story. So
if I use my logic of not betting big games, would have been fine.
Yeah.
This got me back in the green for a bit.
I also lost $15 on the Spurs game now that I think of it. So disappointing showing for Spurs. We'll get into them a little bit later, but it's been a tough week for Tottenham Hotspur for sure. Sandy -25. What happened?
Well, I talked myself out of betting the Wolves Liverpool under, which was probably a shoe-in. I mean, we know Wolves is, and Liverpool just, I don't know. We talked about that. Well, but your dad gave us a lengthy rundown of what's going on with Liverpool, but they have no creativity, so that was an easy under. That went the other way up for some reason, so that was a silly bet. And then, besides that, a couple of bets I can live with. The Burnley Everton, both teams to score. No, loved that bet. Just didn't pan out. And
way she goes sometimes, guys. We here at Banter Bets and BBL, we have no excuses for the losses, but we're coming back stronger, and it's a game of runs. Got a negative week out of the way. So we're coming back strong this week. There are only 4 Premier League games, 4 FA Cup games. So we'll talk a little bit about the FA Cup, focus mostly on the Premier League because that's what we do, but we are leaving the door open for FA Cup bets and I know I've got a couple because there's a couple interesting games in the FA Cup. Not the most interesting weekend of Premier League soccer, that's for sure. But I guess we'll get into the analysis of these games now. And tomorrow, Friday, we got a huge game in the relegation battle. We got a couple of relegation 6-pointers this weekend, actually. Maybe not 6-pointers, but obviously Leeds is safe. But Fulham at home against Leeds. You got to think, Sandy, is this a must-win for Fulham?
You know what? I don't think it is. I mean, it's a you really should win for sure because we're playing Leeds here, boys. But Fulham just they got enough to, even if they lose this week, as long as, I mean, so Brighton, Newcastle playing too. So one of those teams probably takes an L. So they're not going to both pull away from them. So I think the door will still be open regardless. But I mean, Leeds a team you can definitely circle. Hopefully lay an egg a little bit and get after them. So they should be bringing their game. Definitely not leaving Josh Madge on the bench and trying to get a dub here.
There you go. Yeah, I would agree with that. Just because the Brighton or Newcastle, they both can't get 3 points, so Fulham could lose and still, it's not a must-win game, but it's a really, really, really good idea to win this one game for Fulham. Great opportunity. Leeds at home. Leeds been kind of maybe even on the beach a little bit. They might be slowing down due to the press that the classic, everyone says, oh yeah, they can't keep that style up for a full season. Maybe there's a reason everyone says that, but yeah, I think Fulham's got to come out gunning here. Hopefully not another 0-0 for them. I know they draw a lot of games, but yeah.
Their schedule kind of opens up too. Like I remember a few weeks ago we were saying they had a couple easy ones and they had a tough one. They just played City, Liverpool, and Spurs. I'm looking at that. Got a win against Liverpool, so that's good for them. Yeah. And now that the schedule starts to open up a little bit, they got a lot of winnable fixtures down the stretch. So I think it'd be surprising if they don't manage to hop Newcastle up there the way things are shaking up.
Yeah. Leeds also do have a questionable Patrick Bamford. So he is kind of this, maybe not the straw that stirs the drink, but I guess he's the strawberry on the, or the orange slice on the edge of the drink that makes it look good and does that type of thing. So that's a pretty awful analogy, but Bamford is important. Bamford is important to the Leeds attack, is what I'm saying through that horrible analogy. And if he's out, I don't know, is it Rodrigo season? Cody sure hopes so. But I'm not sure Rodrigo brings what Bamford has this season. So yeah, all in all, a great opportunity for Fulham. You got anything on this game, Keegs?
I don't know. Well, I was going to say, I think it's possible that Bamford, much like the orange on the side of the drink, is just a product of the system. If the drink tastes good, then you're going to think the orange was a nice touch. But I guess that theory will be proved this game if they have to go without him.
You're thinking Paddy Bamford's like the orange of a Belgian moon they give you.
Yeah,
the beer is doing all the heavy lifting, but the orange is just there and kind of.
The orange is nice, yeah.
That nice little.
The orange is nice for sure. Thank you for kind of making that a little bit of a better analogy, Keegan. That was a rough start, but hey, let's move on. That's the Friday game.
That's what we need Cam for, those brilliant analogies he brings to the table.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what we need, Cam. Cam would have put that one to bed. That was a tap in for Cam. All right, moving along. We got Brighton and Newcastle. So what I got written down for this one, this is the classic, Shawn Michaels versus Chris Jericho, loser leaves town match that they'd have in WWE. If you lose, you're out. Is this a loser leave town match, Keegs? As in loser leaves the Premier League and gets relegated?
Well, yeah, I don't think you needed to explain it. It kind of made sense. But I got where you're coming from, but I'm just going to say yes on the assumption that Newcastle loses the game.
That was going to be I was going to say, is this a loser leave town match? And as a follow-up question, why are Newcastle leaving town?
Yeah, no, I mean, I think they're already in big trouble, and it's 2 points ahead of Fulham. Fulham are favorites day before against Leeds, which is an interesting line to begin with. But so, I mean, if Fulham can easily pass them going into this game, granted, they will have, after each of them play, they'll have a game in hand. So, but I mean, a game in hand's not worth as much as points are worth when you're at the bottom of the table, in my opinion. So, Fulham could well be in the driver's seat by the end of this weekend. And I was just looking at the strength of schedule. Not too different, but Newcastle have a slightly more difficult schedule than Fulham remaining. And then I might as well touch on Brighton while I'm here. I think it's possible that, well, Brighton actually have probably the hardest schedule out of all three of those teams. So, I mean, that doesn't bode well from one angle, but then you could also look at it from the angle that Brighton can simply beat anyone if they put their chances in the back of the net. But so I honestly think that if Brighton don't win this game, there's still a route to them getting relegated. So, so from that point of view, it's also a kind of a loser. I could see it being a loser leaves town game.
Mm-hmm. There you go. You're talking about games in hand. You forgot the rule that a game in hand is an automatic 3 points. And that's how people count it. Whenever we talk about games in hand, oh, well, we got a game in hand, so that's 3 points.
Yeah, well, I guess I took it, a lot of people, I mean, I guess I took it the opposite view. When you're at the top of the table, a game in hand's 3 points. When you're at the bottom of the table, a game in hand's 0 points. So that's how I'm counting it.
That does make sense to look at it that way. Okay, I agree. Brighton's much better than Newcastle. We know this. I swear we've seen Newcastle as an away team 6.0 like 3 or 4 times this season, and they've somehow won the game as a 6.0 underdog in this almost exact same line. There was an Everton game. There was an Aston Villa game, I think, earlier in the season. are you at least a little bit tempted, either of you, to put anything on 6.0 Newcastle?
Not me. I'm not betting against Brighton again.
Yeah, I'm not scared of Brighton. I'm definitely getting on the Newcastle bandwagon here. I'm not going to go straight up, but I'm going to go with a little winner draw, I think, not to spoil my bets here, but because you posed the question, I'm definitely riding winner draw Newcastle at plus money.
Yeah, I think I might be tempted to take that Newcastle 6.0 and hope for a boring muck it up 1-0 or something. That it's possible. Just with Brighton's finishing issues, although they did look a little better last week. Trossard with a nice goal. Yeah, Keegan, what do you think? So you got your hand up. It's very polite.
Just on the point from Sandy, I actually kind of like the Newcastle winner draw just on the if it's plus money, just on the basis that Brighton are kind of the draw specialists. So
yeah, I think that's a decent bet, Sandy. It's probably like 2.2 or something.
Yeah, it was pretty even to just like a whatever, like even money, but it was slightly positive, so you can still throw around the plus money designation. It's like plus 105 or something.
That's what you look for. 1.95, not a good bet, but 2.05, that's plus money.
Yeah. It's all about seeing that minus with the pluses.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I don't know. Safe to say I'll probably be watching some college basketball instead of Brighton Newcastle. Might have it on a screen though on my phone. We'll see what happens.
Can you really sacrifice a screen when there's gonna be so much chaos going on?
I've accumulated a bunch of screens, so that's what this moment is for. This time of year, March Madness, lots of screens. Oops, I think I accidentally clicked on going into the game. Anyways, we'll move right along. And West Ham Arsenal on Sunday. Arsenal was pretty impressive last week in their defeat of Tottenham. Came from behind, looked pretty good doing it. I thought it was interesting how Arsenal looked really good, and then Tottenham got a red card, and Arsenal was winning and up a man, and then all of a sudden they're like, oh man, there's actually pressure on us to win this game now. Like we're winning and they have a red card, and that's when Arsenal looked the worst, which is kind of classic Arsenal. Just the fact that they're kind of built that way mentally and mental midgets. So I thought that was interesting, but still got the job done. I was going to ask Cam this question, but I guess whoever wants to contribute can raise their hand. West Ham Arsenal, who finishes higher next season? Like, is Arsenal going to be for sure now a team that's kind of like 7th, 8th? Is West Ham pushing above them? Who finishes higher next season?
Yeah, I don't know. Make a line and I'll tell you which side I'm betting on it.
Okay, I'll make a betting line for this.
That'd be even
Arsenal
money,
is
right?
Arsenal's 1.66, and West Ham is 2.15 on the betting line. Who would you bet on to finish higher? Premier League 2021, 2022.
Oh, well, I was thinking Arsenal this whole time just because the big 6 factor, but I think you put the line bang on. So I don't know. That's tough to pick a side. I'm just going to commend your job for putting a
if
great
any
line
odds makers are out there listening, I make a decent line. There you go. Keegan couldn't even pick a side. That's how good it is. That's what you want.
That's not what you want, because people don't put money down. You want it to be slightly more enticing, like 1 point.
But you also don't want to lose money if you make it too easy. Which side are you on there, Sandy?
I'd probably go Arsenal just because of what Keegan said. I mean, they'll have a little more money to spend this summer. I mean, West Ham, it's not like a characteristic, like mid-table team who they have a good season and they get their best players picked off. I don't really know who's going to get picked off for them. They don't really have a whole lot of studs. Like, is Antonio going to get signed by a big team? No. Bowen, Lingard, Ben Rama, I don't know.
Well,
Declan Rice, maybe. I guess they could lose him. But I don't know. I feel like they're pretty still next year. But yeah, I mean, I bet Arsenal will go out and make a bit of a splash this summer, even though finances are a little tight, and they'll probably be able to try and do something at least. Whereas West Ham will be a little restricted there.
Yeah, I mean, knowing West Ham, they could go ahead and get relegated next year, to be honest. So just the way
Yeah,
they
we've kind of been waiting for them to fall off all
kinda
season.
operate.
There's no way they can keep up for 2 years.
yeah, 2 years is probably too much. Keegan, what you got?
I just think the question is, does Arsenal have another 30 employees that they're able to fire?
Yeah, to sign Willian. Do they have another mascot to lay off?
Yeah,
It's a
no
good
kidding.
one. I don't know. Arsenal, to me, they're kind of turning into like the Europa League FA Cup team that doesn't really care about the Premier League. The last couple of years, they're just like, oh yeah, let's try and win the Europa League and FA Cup, Premier League, whatever. We're not making top 4. So I think they're kind of in danger of becoming that. Well, they probably already have become like a second tier contender.
Yeah, I mean, when you bury yourself in that first like half of the year, you don't really have much of a choice, though, do you? Like, I'm sure they'd love to be in contention for the top 4, but it's just not really on the cards for them.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, true. I guess they kind of made their bed, so it's not like not prioritizing FA. Arteta is going to say that. He'll be like, "Oh yeah, we're prioritizing trophies this season." And it's like, well, yeah, you're not prioritizing the Premier League because you suck in it. Exactly.
You think the first meeting, they come back from their vacations, their first meeting is, you know what? We might finish in the bottom half of the Premier League table, but if we put a run in the Europa League and the FA Cup, it's a successful season. I think that's the dynamic of their team talks.
Maybe.
You just got to win games. You got to win games somewhere, keep the morale up. As long as you're winning games in some form.
So you spoke about some of the players that could leave, Sandy. Lingard is on loan from Manchester United. Lingard, I've always had a soft spot for him, Keegs. Do you think he could ever come back to Manchester United and be a squad player, starter, difference maker, contributes? What do you think his Manchester United future is? Or is he stick to West Ham, you found a new home, you're appreciated there? What do you think Lingard's future holds?
Well, I think he's in a good position because I think that either way, he might have a shout. I mean, if he sticks with West Ham and kind of does what he's doing, I think that might be a good career move for him as well. But also, I mean, I initially thought, oh, there's no way he can contribute to United. But then I kind of thought about it a little more. And I mean, you got like Dan James in the squad a little bit, Greenwood in the squad a little bit. And I don't think either of those two have been very impressive this season.
Yeah. Greenwood has taken a step back. It's been a little disappointing.
Yeah. So I think there definitely is. I mean, well, looking at their squad right now, which could obviously be strengthened by the time Lingard gets back, but I mean, looking at it right now, I think in the form, if he was magically able to carry that form over and be in the squad right now, I think that he would be a squad player and would contribute. So, yeah, I think he could contribute for United, and it would be nice to see.
Yeah, the trouble is Bruno and Pogba are kind of where his position would be, right? And I mean, you're not taking Bruno out. Pogba, I guess, kind of in and out of the team anyway, but
I don't know. Like just looking at the way they kind of played today without really a striker, and Greenwood would kind of find his way onto the wing, and it was kind of like dynamic, their whole setup. I think you might be able to do well in that, just kind of find space. But
that's fair enough. Yeah. He is in the England squad though, Lingard, right?
Oh yeah, that's another thing as well.
They name the squad?
Just for the friendlies here.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant. What are they naming the World Cup or the Euro squad?
I don't know, probably about a month before the Euros, sometime in late May, I guess. I don't know. Should be interesting though. Lots of decisions to be made for England. If you'd have told me at the start of the season Jesse Lingard would have a chance to be in that squad, I would not have believed you. But there you go. And it's been happened pretty fast since he moved to West Ham that he's gotten right back in it. So good for Jesse. Good kid. Not a kid anymore. Good guy. And love to see him having success.
Got that kid-like spirit though. He seems like a good morale guy.
Yeah,
boys seem to like him. Pretty enthusiastic and gregarious. You know, he's he gets the morale in the room up, I'm sure.
Yeah, huge locker room guy. Huge locker room presence. All right. Yeah, I don't know. What do you guys think of the line on this one? Arsenal favorites away at West Ham. I think that was a little suspect to me, but Arsenal kind of shows up in games against a little bit better teams.
Based on last week. Arsenal really
Last
showed up
week,
in
but they also beat
season.
Leicester recently. Did they not beat Everton, I think, somewhat recently? Like I always there's that Southampton game where Arsenal was horrible and Southampton was good at the start of the season, and I remember us all being like, "Oh man, Southampton was plus money," and we're like, "Let's roll with Southampton." But I think Arsenal either won or maybe tied that one and should have won. So it's kind of like when you think, "Oh man, what is that line like that?" They kind of show up a little bit. I've gotten the feeling.
No, I think I was this game and the next game as well, because they have identical lines almost. I was just staring at them, trying to figure out an angle, and then I eventually chickened out of all sides.
Yeah, fair enough. Should be an all right game though. I think Antonio versus David Luiz. That's a matchup I like.
Yeah, it's still kind of a shitty line. I mean, I don't know, kind of like West Ham, and just because like West Ham's actually good, kind of. I don't know, like
that checks out.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like Arsenal isn't usually favored in those kind of games you're talking. Well, I guess obviously in Southampton, but they're usually not favored against like slightly better teams, and they kind of perform well as underdog. But as a favorite here, I don't love them too much.
Yeah.
This is the line that we were talking about that the bet makers make their money off of, just plus money everywhere you look. So it's just begging you to put money on this game no matter which side.
Yeah, that's true. Plus money. Yeah, very true, Keegs.
Yeah.
All right. Let's talk about Tottenham Hotspur. I didn't mention this one in the notes that I sent to you guys, but anyone want to comment on the Lamela goal last week? That was something. I was watching and I was like, oh my goodness, I can't believe he just did that. When he started to do that, I was like, oh my God, Lamela, you're so stupid. Just shoot it with your right foot. And then it went through the legs and kind of slowly, perfectly curled in. It was very impressive. Yeah, the Lamela goal. Sandy, you ever seen anyone better at Rabona's than Lamela? Because he scored an outside of the box one like 6 years ago in the Europa League too.
Maybe like Ricardo Quaresma. Completely one-footed wonder. Actually, no, he is more of like an outside of the foot kind of guy.
Yeah, I'm sure Quaresma could do a pretty.
But I'm pretty sure he would pull the Rabonas from time to time. But yeah, no, he's absurd at those. That was such a clean Rabona.
Yeah,
like he just struck it. Like usually when people do Rabonas, they can only kind of like chip it up or like
yeah.
And maybe guys in the Prem can do them well, but usually guys are just kind of like flicking them or just trying to pop it up. But he actually put his foot through it and like curled it like
it was
he would
low
like
driven.
A shot. Yeah,
it was a low driven.
Really impressive. And then I saw Martin Tyler was getting roasted online for his lack of a reaction to it. So they're calling granddad saying he can get time.
That's kind of Martin Tyler's thing, though. He very rarely gets excited.
Yeah.
If he gets excited, something big's happened. Not like Peter Drury, who will lose his mind over the tiniest of events. That's why I'm a Martin Tyler guy over Peter Drury. But yeah.
Martin Tyler is probably just thinking like, just put your fucking foot through it. Hit it with your right foot, lad.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Unnecessary, but quite delightful goal.
Yeah.
And then we got to see, I don't know, I think that Rabona gave Lamela a little bit of confidence. It's kind of like you have a couple drinks and you're feeling frisky at a party or whatever, and a little bit of confidence, and Lamela started to push boundaries a little bit and then got a red card, and it was just the perfect Lamela performance.
I got a perfect analogy for what happened in that game from Lamela's point of view.
Lovely.
He's just out at a party. He's had a couple of drinks. He stepped up to the pong table, hit a fancy trick shot, and then was kind of feeling himself. And then went up to a girl that was out of his league, and then turns out she had a boyfriend, and he got his ass kicked and thrown out of the party.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened. Yeah, he hit a behind the back, off the wall shot. Everyone's like, "Oh, Lamela!" They've got Eric. Oh my goodness! Reguilón's like this, like he was after the goal, and then and then he got a little too cocky, got thrown out. Team loses, suspension. Yeah, I love that. analogy, Keegan. We're on fire. You're saving my analogies here tonight.
He hit the behind the back shot, and they would just look around everyone like, "Hey, you see that shot?" And while he was doing that, kind of cocking off, distracting his teammate, their teammates back-to-back bounces.
Yeah. Yeah, true. And it turns out, it was not worth it at all, and his team lost. Yeah. There we go. We got a whole beer pong analogy out of that.
Something we actually know. Unlike soccer.
Yeah. Yeah, true. Might as well turn this into a beer pong podcast. But yeah, and then Tottenham, they go and they have a 2-0 lead against Dinamo Zagreb in the Europa League, and they go and blow it today. Sandy, how sorry of a state are Spurs in? Lots of S's in that sentence.
Yeah, I feel really bad for Spurs fans because just like the last few weeks, they've been so hyped up with like Bale coming back and like all that and all that momentum. And then just in 1 week, you go and get your ass kicked by Arsenal, and you go and get bow out of the Europa League due to let me just check my notes here. Mislav Orsic, second half and no extra time hat trick on you. Like natural hat trick. Like how the fortunes have turned. Like you just think maybe, I don't know what they thought was gonna happen if Bale got hot, like what they could have realistically accomplished this year. But it seems like they're things where they're feeling pretty good about things, you know. Bale's finally healthy, he's fucking banging goals in, and then just a horrid week. Just a shocker of a week, really.
Yeah. Bale's probably saying, "Hey, Kane, I left. It was pretty good. Grass is a little bit greener. I don't know. Maybe you want to head overseas, or not overseas, across the river,
across the strait.
Across the strait, yeah,
across
exactly.
The English Strait.
That could be what Bale's saying too. Bale's an insider. What do we call it, Keegan? The Sayunshu from sleeper cell.
The sleeper cell, yeah.
Bale's a sleeper cell from Real Madrid trying to get Kane to transfer there. Keegs, what else you got?
Well, I have to mention this because Bill was on it all day and really wants me to bring it up about he was saying whether or not Jose is gonna have his job after this weekend and all that. You know, bet Aston Villa if Jose still has his job. Or sorry, bet Aston Villa. Oh gosh.
Bet Aston Villa and Jose be the next manager fired.
No, I'm sorry for screwing that up, but he was saying, apologies to Bill, our only listener, who probably is the only one at this point, but no, he was saying the players probably want Jose out. So if he's still their manager, bet against Tottenham because their players are going to throw the game. But if he isn't the manager, then bet on Tottenham. And I mean, he kind of threw his team under the bus in Jose fashion after their loss in the Europa League, which is pretty pathetic from him.
Yeah, I didn't see his presser. What did he say?
It was just kind of like
team doesn't try.
Yeah.
Basically.
Well, you're not motivating Jose.
I actually think they've got a bounce back performance in store, Keegan. I think there's leaders like Kane. Lloris is a bit of a leader. I don't necessarily trust Jose to rally the troops for this game. I trust Harry Kane to be like, all right, guys, let's go. He could be the player manager, I think. I'm sure he's a fantastic leader.
They could understand him.
Lloris is used to bouncing back after a huge letdown.
You never get that biscuit out of his mouth that he's always chewing on when he talks, and they can understand him. Then yeah.
Lloris is fairly used to the scrutiny.
Yeah. Maybe Lloris isn't the best leader. Who knows? I'm sure he's fine. He's won a World Cup.
Yeah, I mean, he fucking went from just the GOAT in the Euros, and the next year went back to seeing the World Cup. So
yeah, bad goat in this case, the scapegoat, not the great scapegoat. Yeah. On the Aston Villa side of things, without Grealish again this week, Sandy, you think?
I don't know, man. Like, he's got he's got like a calf injury. I guess he's got like, does he even have a calf injury? He has like some kind of weird lower body injury. He has like a strain or something. He's been out for 2 months. So it's a bizarre situation with him. It wasn't even like he was like when he first got hurt, no one even knew he was hurt. Like the first week he missed out, so it's just been like a weird situation. They're not really being open about his recovery, so who knows what's going on? It could be like one of these weird situations where there's more. It could be like a David Brooks situation. You never know.
Yeah,
or just like
a Lamptey situation, Keegan.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. More recently, Harper.
Where he's
David
coming back
Brooks.
next week. He's a week away. He's a week away from being a week away. He's had a setback. He's a couple weeks away, and he's not coming.
And they just kind of, and then the player is just kind of sitting there. They're mid-table. They have nothing to play for, and so he's not. He's just kind of showing up to rehab every day, shooting the shit with the trainers, getting a few massages.
Yeah.
Not really too eager to play.
Sipping on a smoothie.
Not working too hard to get back at it.
Yeah. That was one thing I was going to bring up. Aston Villa. Who did we put on the beach last week? I think maybe Southampton on the beach. Are Aston Villa joining Southampton on the beach? They're bringing their towel in, rolling it down beside Southampton, and kicking their feet up, grabbing a drink with a little umbrella in it. We're on the beach.
It feels like it. The performances have just been gutless, just boring as hell. Hoping Martinez will bail them out.
Yeah, and he usually does.
Seeing like 10 shots a game. Yeah, just let him get lit up. Yeah, he's probably happy. He's making him look great.
Mm-hmm.
Leading the league in saves by a country mile. But yeah, they've been dreadful.
Yeah, that beach is going to be getting pretty busy over the next couple weeks.
Pretty crowded, yeah.
Yeah, crowded.
Especially when those COVID restrictions lighten up a little bit in England. Oh boy.
Yeah. We're gonna have Grealish out there putting sun cream on his calves so they don't get burned. We've got Ings out there playing volleyball. We'll have a whole character of beaches. We're gonna have Leeds out there soon. Bielsa is gonna be sitting on a bucket, and it's gonna be like, Coach, I was using that bucket to build a sandcastle. Bielsa is just gonna be sitting on it. So yeah, whole bunch of teams on the beach. We'll have to draw a graphic up, even though no one knows how to do that. It'll be a funny cartoon though. Premier League teams on the beach and what they do. Anyways, why don't we move across to talk a little bit about FA Cup? There's quarterfinals FA Cup. Just coming off the quarterfinals of Fantasy FA Cup, in which I'm the only victor on the pod here. Beat Sandy. Sandy had a sad team. Keegan unfortunately jinxed himself. Lost to Cam. So now we'll go into real FA Cup. So I'm going to set another line for you guys because I'm so good at setting betting lines. It's Manchester City to win the FA Cup. Manchester City versus the Field. Even money either side. 1.9 either side. Who do you take?
Well, I don't need your line. You can just go ahead and click outrights. That's what I checked beforehand, and it's City 2.2 is what the official odds are right now.
Is that worth some money, Keegan?
Well, as an anti-City fan, no way. Screw them. Take the Field.
Take the Field, eh? Sandy, what do you think? If you had to bet your college degree right now on who wins the FA Cup, Manchester City, any other team, which side are you on?
Well, I'm going to do a little bracket breakdown here for everyone. I guess. So,
there's no bracket really. It's just they get drawn. There's a draw every round.
Okay, yeah, that's how it works.
Brackets on the mind though.
Sandy, your mic's having an absolute shocker.
Sandy's mic is having a bit of a shocker. Apologies to the listeners who I know you guys come here for the quality sound, but not always able to provide that. But anyways, Sandy, who you taking? Just Manchester City or any other team?
How's my mic now?
You're good.
I'm good. All clear. I'm definitely gonna go with City. I hate it, but just the fact that they have nothing to play for in the league means they can just kind of rotate their guys and kind of line up their squad for every big game.
Yeah,
it's gonna be tough for them to lose, which sucks. But if you like, my college degree is worth a shit ton, boys. That thing's gold. So yeah, I'm gonna take that one. I can take City here.
All right, we'll see. We'll see if Sandy loses his degree or not in the next couple months.
Well, I'll have two of those eventually, so I can give one out.
Fair enough. Which one would you give away?
The Masters,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
Gotta keep that Saints classic education.
There you go.
Do American educations actually count as degrees though?
Oof. Apologies to our
What are
American
you saying about
listeners.
the American education system, Keith?
I think he's saying it's bad.
Yeah.
Some old-fashioned Canada versus USA roasting. Just all in good fun, USA listeners. The copious amounts. Keegan, Manchester United still in the FA Cup. They're still in the Europa League too after today. Do they need to win one of those two trophies, at least one of the two, to call it a successful season?
Yeah, I don't think so. Just
No.
because if they're able to, I mean, obviously it helps, but I think if they're able to maintain a healthy second place finish, then that obviously shows progression in terms of consistency, which is important. And I was watching their game today, and the commentator referenced Ole kind of taking a shot at his predecessors, Van Gaal and Mourinho, when apparently he said something along the lines of winning a trophy can conceal a bad team. Something along those lines. So I mean, he kind of has a point in the sense that, well, I mean, if you finish sixth but win the Europa League, is that really better than finishing second? I mean, sure, you get a trophy in the trophy case, but like, I don't know. I'm not convinced that it is better than just finishing second. So I mean, obviously finishing second and winning the FA Cup, Europa League would be the best case, but I see what he's saying, and I somewhat agree with him. So I don't think it is mandatory for them to win trophies as long as they just keep progressing.
I see what you're saying, but you know what else can conceal a bad team? Winning 5-0 against Leipzig in the group stage, going away to Paris and winning, and still not making it out of that group. That's flattering to deceive right there. Also, winning every game against, Manchester City that doesn't really matter, and then losing them in cup competitions or losing them in stuff that matters. I think that conceals or kind of hides. I think Manchester United is playing a little bit of a trick on us. Like, I know Solskjaer saying like, oh, those teams were like not as good and they won trophies and it made them seem a little bit better. I think that this United team is kind of deceiving us a little bit too, is what I'm trying to say. I think I'd be really disappointed if they don't win at least one trophy this year.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, but I don't know. Maybe I'm just not picky enough, but I see, well, their league position, it improved, and they're, as of right now, firmly in second place. So, well, I guess Leicester's right there, but for some reason I don't trust Leicester. So for me, it's just kind of like, well, they've improved in the league, so that's good enough for this season. Now, next season, if they're able to maintain that and then maybe add a trophy, okay, we're making progress.
Fair enough. Yeah. All right. Last thing on the FA Cup. You guys have any upsets, any cup sets you want to give? What do you guys think the most likely is out of the four underdogs in these games? Who do you guys think is most likely to advance? So just for the listeners, we got Bournemouth, Southampton, Everton, Man City, Chelsea, Sheffield United, and Leicester, Manchester United.
Well, sure, you shouldn't. Sheffield, 13.
Yeah, I don't think Sheffield's winning. That's fair enough. Easy enough to scratch them off the list. So then, who you got, Sandy?
It's kind of fun that Bournemouth is still up here. I'm not sure. And they're playing Southampton, a fellow shit team. So I mean, that's a fun little game right there. We got Bournemouth with a shot to get in the semis, boys. Is David Brooks up this year? Who's Bournemouth rolling this year?
They've got a lot of the same players as last year, apparently. So.
Well, they don't have Wilson or Kane.
They got Dan Juma has been their go-to player apparently. He's a bit part player in the Prem.
I like that one, boys.
I'd agree. I think Bournemouth at home has got a pretty good chance of beating Southampton, and I might even feature it in my bets a little bit later as a sneak peek. What do you think, Keegan?
I'd hold back on that one a little bit. I think we kind of discussed Southampton kind of being on the beach. So, I mean, this is their last competition that matters.
Fair enough.
I admittedly know nothing about the championship, so I'm not sure if Bournemouth are in with the shout of promotion.
Yeah,
or
they're
not.
pushing for promotion, so they could prioritize that and probably will.
Yeah. So that's what I'm thinking a little bit. But
Fair enough.
you guys scratched off Sheffield right away, but I'm gonna go back to that one a little bit. Chelsea played midweek. There's one thing kind of pointing in Sheffield's favor. Sheffield had fuck all to play for forever. So there's another thing kind of pointing in there. Maybe they'll go for it a little bit. Will Chelsea look to the league a little bit more with their team selection? And I don't know, Sheffield have always kind of been that Chelsea kryptonite a little bit, eh?
That is true. McGoldrick loves a goal against Chelsea.
So I'll put my money where my mouth is, and I'm betting Sheffield to advance.
Love it, Keegan. Love it. I'd love to see it too. All right, guys. I think that's going to do it for the banter. Let's get into the bets. I was the worst last week, so I'll go last. Sandy, you lost the least amount of money, so by process elimination, you're up first. What do you got for bets this weekend? We got 4 Premier League games to choose from, 4 FA Cup games to choose from.
I think you're a little misinformed there. I think Keegan was the top dog at -15, but I'll fire it off anyways.
Apologies. That is true.
I don't want to take the spotlight off Keegan here and let him have that moment of being the first better. But I will anyways. I just wanted to let everyone know that Keegan was the highest finisher of us 3. But so I'm going to roll with Fulham this week. 10 to win 25, Newcastle win or draw, 10 for 20, and West Ham, 10 for 28.
There you go. Some plus money bets. That's what you like to see.
3 pluses.
Brother Keegs?
Yeah,
Take it away.
I'm going to go Leeds over Fulham.
Ooh.
Considering they're underdogs. I mean, I got respect for Fulham, but I also got respect for Leeds, so I'll take the underdog easily. I got Leicester United to go to extra time. 5 pays 30 there, and kind of like that spot. I was initially thinking Leicester, but United rest didn't even play Martial, so not Martial, excuse me. Well, they didn't play him either, but didn't play Rashford. So can't bet against Rashford. And then I'm gonna take a chalk parlay because I don't normally do that, but I feel like I need a little bit of something here to win me to hopefully not give me another big negative. So I'm gonna take City to win parlayed with Leeds winner draw. $10 pays 20. And then finally, like I said, Sheffield to qualify. 5 pays 35.
Nice. Okay, sorry. Did you say that Leicester Man United to go to extra time is 6?
Yeah.
Surely, isn't it 3.5 because it's 3.5 for a draw? Or do you mean the game has to be decided in extra time?
Shit. Yeah. I guess decided in extra time. So I guess a penalties would lose me that bet, eh?
Yeah.
Well, I've already said it. I'll stick to it.
I still think it's not a bad bet. I think that one could be a bit of a bore, like most Manchester United games are.
I'm just gonna compound it and put half a unit on the game to be decided in penalties because I think that was like 12 or 13.
Nice. Yeah, I think this one could go down to the wire. I like that bet. Yeah, I guess I'll give mine here. Let me take a look at what I got written down for my bets. I'm going with. I couldn't resist the Newcastle number, guys. I think that's been a winner, that kind of exact game. And Brighton, I know they looked better last week, but yeah, I know it's not absolutely certain that Brighton's going to score any week, and Newcastle could be sneaky. So $5 wins 30. All my bets are $5. West Ham Arsenal, Keegan, he said it a couple weeks ago. When you don't know who to pick, which side to pick the draw. Draw is a pretty good number, 3.5. So I'm going to go $5 on West Ham Arsenal to be a draw. I'm going $5 on a Tottenham bounce back. Harry Kane's going to drag that team to a victory against an on the beach Aston Villa. And then I've got $5 on Bournemouth. I know you kind of made a good point there, Keegan, about the promotion push, but I'm going against the teams that are on the beach this week. Southampton's on the beach. I'm going to go with Bournemouth. Bournemouth's been playing pretty well in the championship, so let's go with them. Southampton's been out of form. And I'm going to go with Manchester United to win because I like that team and I want to cheer for them. And I do think they can step up and win this game. So $5 on all of those. And now, Keegan, special bet time. A couple weeks ago, we great grandma, 101 years old, by the way. Shout out great grandma. Beat COVID at 101. And we had the do it for great grandma bet. I think, was that when we were all on Everton against Leeds?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we did it for great grandma. And now it's grandma, her daughters. She's great too, but she's not our great grandma. But she's great. Grandma 77 today, Grandma Carol Forbister in I guess she lives in Birds Hill, Manitoba, to be very precise. So happy birthday, Grandma.
Yes.
Keegan.
Loyal listener too.
Yeah, I know, a loyal listener, Grandma. So she says she has no idea what we're talking about, but she does listen to try and figure out who's talking. And
I hope she follows the bets and has a positive bank account from it.
Yeah, maybe she's getting on the bets, but so this is Liam talking, Grandma. What's our do it for grandma bet this week, Keegan? We need to come up with something. I know I'm putting you on the spot here, but what's our grandma bet, do it for grandma bet that we're most confident in?
Oh yeah, you are putting me on the spot. I think our do it for grandma bet should be Leeds. I think we should. I really like Leeds' spot there.
All right, fair enough. I don't have any money on that game, and I'm okay with rolling with you. I'll put $5 down on Leeds. Keegan trusts Leeds. I worry a bit about Bamford, but that's going to be our do it for grandma bet. Do it for great grandma worked, so there's our grandma bet. Yeah. Actually, I'm going to end off with a funny grandma story because I was on the FaceTime with her tonight, wishing her a happy birthday. And while we're on FaceTime, she gets a phone call from our Uncle Bob. And so it kind of confused her because she's got her iPhone out and she's got the house phone ringing. So she gets off the phone with Bob, who sang her a quick happy birthday. And she puts the FaceTime to her ear, and I'm just looking at the inside of her ear, basically. And she said, "Oh, Liam, all of a sudden you're way too loud. It's like you're screaming in my ear." And I'm like, "Yeah, that's because we're on FaceTime, Grandma, and you got the phone to your ear." So we figured it out, technical difficulties, but we worked through it. So shout out to Grandma for that one. That was a funny moment. And yeah, hope you listen to this one, and hopefully you don't mind me telling that story. Classic. All right, guys, got anything else before we finish off the show?
One last thing, I got to apologize. I was completely off base with the line for the decided after penalties. That was if you pick a side. Decided after penalties is only 6. So I'm just gonna stick with what I got and not touch anything else and admit that it was poor research. So we'll just see what happens.
Way she goes sometimes. Yeah, all right, fair enough, Keegs. Yeah, I don't know, I'll be watching a lot of college basketball with Sandy this weekend, tuning into some soccer a little bit, but yeah, banter bets and BPL, keep it here for we're coming back this week. Oh, you know what, actually I gotta read off Cam's bets. He did send his in, so thank goodness I remembered that. He would not have been happy. Let's see what Coach Cam has. Coach Cam was negative 850, by the way, last week. Coach Cam has, he's got a $5 parlay that pays out $160, classic Coach Cam fashion. That's West Ham, Tottenham, Brighton, and Leeds all to win. He has got another parlay, $5, West Ham and Brighton to win. That's 5 to pay 23. He's got another parlay, Leeds and Tottenham to win. He's the parlay kid this week. $5 pays 30. And he's got Bamford to score, avoid if player does not start. Maybe he's got some insider info on him. $5 pays $12.50. I don't know if Bamford's going to start, but he'll be the first to tell you. That's why you always void if player doesn't start. That saved Coach Cam a lot of money in his time betting. So there we go. There's the bets from all 4 of us. thanks for listening, guys. Happy birthday, Grandma. And yeah, keep tuning in to Banter Bets and BPL. We're winning money this week. See ya.